All right. Dude, hello?
Hey, Zach, it's Mike, man.
Dude, Mike, what the fuck is going on, man? You're live on the Zach Moonshine Show. How you doing?
Oh, awesome, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, dude. So, Mike, what the fuck, man? What's going on in the world of Primeval and Homicidal Assault?
Things are really kind of crazy at the moment. We're actually, with Primeval, we're re-releasing our first 3 demos that we put out back from 87 to 90 on Floga Records, coming out on vinyl.
Nice.
Sometime this summer. All remastered. Nice fold-out jacket, all kinds of stuff. And we're actually currently re-recording a few of those demo songs with the new lineup for release sometime shortly after that, and just before we start recording our second full-length albums. So that's what Primeval's up to right now. Just a lot of stuff in the works. Homicidal Assault is a kind of a side project that I have with a few of the guys in Brain Dead, Tortured Existence, and also Primeval. Just some real heavy stuff that we wouldn't normally do in the bands that we're in, but stuff that we all dig anyway. So we wanted to do something kind of on the side, and what you hear on the Obscure Chaos comp is just a demo of one of the songs. We're currently still writing and demoing for a full length that we plan on recording. But that's pretty much where that is. Ed Monteo from Brain Dead and Tortured Existence, he and I have been doing most of the writing and recording on stuff. We originally had 2 basses in the band. One that finger-picked, Dave, who was in Brain Dead, and a big player, Rob, from Primeval. So we had 2 guitars, 2 basses, and Billy from Primeval was going to handle the drums on that. So right now we're down to a 4-piece with just 2 guitars, 1 bass, and a drummer, but still going through whether or not we're going to continue with 2 basses or just keep the 1, because it was something kind of different. And we were able to expand on a lot of different stuff with that.
Let me ask you, your opinion, what do you like better, a finger-picking bass or pick-picking?
You know, it all depends on the band, the music. You know, I like both. You know, for Primeval, really using a pick is really helpful with us because we play mostly speed stuff. Mm-hmm. So being able to have a nice, solid bottom end, you know, being able to fly with a pick, just keeps that bottom end going more than, like, let's say, a finger player. We do a lot of finger picking and a lot of note runs and stuff, which I love, too, for obviously different bands like Cannibal Corpse and, you know, Iron Maiden, where the basses are just, like, crazy, incredible.
Yeah.
Like Abnormality, another crazy bass player, man. But for us, we need more of that tight picking bottom end, you know, just driving through the whole thing, nice, solid, steady beat. So for us, that's what works. But yeah, I dig both, man. They both have their own uniqueness and their own styles and their own flair that I think bring to the music.
Hell yeah. Well, Mike, how long have you been doing this, and how exactly did all this get started?
This as in playing music?
Yeah, everything.
Everything. Well, kind of started at a young age for me, at least, you know, being driven towards playing music. You know, I had a lot of musicians in my family, so there was music always going on. So I always wanted to be a part of that, you know. Wasn't until I was 16, though, that I actually got my first guitar and actually started playing seriously and learning how to play. And by the time I was 18, Primeval was formed, and yeah, we were on our way. We were just doing stuff. I was playing stuff that I loved, just a combination of everything. Thrash metal to speed metal to punk, hardcore, heavy metal, Old Sabbath, just a mixture of all kinds of stuff. When we first started, some of the earlier bands would have been Sabbath, Motorhead, early Celtic Frost, early Slayer, like first album, Hell Awaits. Just kind of that kind of stuff is really what drove us towards doing what we wanted to do.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about your influences.
Yeah, they constantly evolve and change. Music is something that I've always loved to explore, and I like listening to all kinds of different genres and all kinds of different bands. And to me, discovering new music and new bands is like the fun of music, So being able to hear stuff that I dig, that's kind of where I get my influence from. It's not from any particular sound. It's just music in general. I would say I gravitate towards more dissonant type sounds, more minor key stuff, disharmonic stuff, and real fast pounding rhythms. I was never really huge on vocals. To me, it was always about the instrumentation and the music and the drive, the heaviness of a guitar, the bite, the crunch of a guitar, the kick of a double bass, just all those things.
Fuck, I didn't even ask, what exactly do you do in the band? What's...
I play guitar, write music, write some lyrics, jam, have fun, do as much promotion as I have time to do.
Fuck yeah, man. Right on, dude. Now, the band names Primeval and Homicidal Assault, is there any, stories behind that? How did you come up with those names?
Well, Primeval was penned by our vocalist, Andy, back in 1986. And he had taken the word primeval, which is one word, and broke it out into two to create the meaning of the ultimate evil, primeval. Our whole concept really about evil is really the evil of mankind, the sinners that we all are, and the kind of evil that we produce and manifest. Nothing about fairy tale or fantasy, it's all real shit. And that's really what our basis for everything has been for Primeval. As far as Homicidal Assault, that was taken from a song I wrote for the last Primeval album, Blood Curse Resurrection, which was put out on Inferno Records. And it's kind of a little bit of history, self-autobiographical, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Right on, man. I got some questions coming in from the chat room. You ready for this?
Yeah, why not, man?
Carl Mackeysack in the chat, he wants to know who taps the most groupies in the band.
Who taps the most groupies in the band? Yeah, nobody does that anymore. Two of us are married, and the other two have really long-term committed girlfriends in relationships, so there's no groupies here, man, sorry.
He asks us every time, man. I keep telling him, dude, it's not the fucking 80s anymore, man.
Yeah, those are the old days.
He also wants to know, has anybody ever gotten into any barroom brawls while on stage or anything like that? Anybody gotten arrested while on tour or anything like that?
Oh, man. On tour, yeah, none of us have been arrested. There's definitely been some fights. There's been some infighting. Had a fight with another band's roadie one time. Just little shit, but nothing major,
What's like some of the craziest shit that you've ever seen while being on the road or at a show or anything? Something that sticks out.
Yeah, there's been so many. reaction, crowd reaction, big crowds getting into it, big pits. I mean, that's really our driving force for playing live. And, that's kind of really where we're at as far as playing live. Everything in between is kind of just like to get to your destination. We used to like to fuck around when we were real young and have a good time and get stupid and shit. That was all great when you're young, but now it's pretty much, you got to take care of business first, and it's all about playing the live show right now.
Hell yeah, man. Speaking of the live show, for anybody out there who has not seen you guys live, what could they expect? Like, what can you tell them about it?
Really just high energy. It's just us performing our songs, usually faster than they should be. We tend to get out of control live and just play super fast. A lot of high energy, violence, head banging, slab of spitting, crowd pits, all that kind of shit, man.
Hell yeah, man. And your local scene, what can you tell people about the local scene out there?
New York is great. There's shows every weekend. Usually at least 2 great shows every month. There's a shitload of places to go to see shows throughout the boroughs, whether it's, Manhattan, Brooklyn. It's a cool scene. I mean, it's New York, New York's always been a great scene from the time I started. Always been a huge fan of the New York bands and the New York scene, back in the 80s, New York hardcore and all the thrash that was coming out. Just happy to be enjoying it, man.
Hell yeah, dude. That also leads me to my next question about the compilation with Cat and Obscure Chaos Scene and shit, man. How did all that come together?
Well, Cat had mentioned, we were actually doing an interview with Cat, and I've known Cat for quite a few years. She's a big supporter of the underground, running fanzines and shows, promoting. She manages band, does a lot of stuff, but she had mentioned to me before that she was interested in doing a compilation album and was kind of throwing it out there, and I thought it sounded like a great idea because I know how many bands she helps and how many bands in the area and worldwide there are that obviously something like this would help out tremendously. So I was all for it, and I offered to do the mastering on it so that when she puts it out, it would sound as good as we could get it to sound.
Nice. Yeah, you did a good job on that shit, man. The whole thing fucking sounds killer, man.
Thanks. Yeah, it's 21 bands from around the world, and almost everything was different. They were recorded in different studios. Some on digital, some on analog. Some stuff I had was already mastered, so I kind of had to unmaster it to get it to sound. What
was that like, man?
Not bad, because it's something that I've done a lot of, actually, is already take kind of older master tracks and kind of strip them down and uncompress and sort of build them back up. So for me, that's kind of where I started out and what got me into learning all the ins and outs of mastering and want to become a master engineer eventually. So that wasn't really bad at all. I had some bands that sent me the raw tracks that I was able to mix and master, like Brain Dead, Behind the Mask of Sanity. Debauch Beauty, Remember 9/11, we actually recorded here in my studio, Beacon Soundworks. So that was recorded, mixed, and mastered here. The Primeval, Cannibal God, I took the original final mix, and I did a remaster of that. And Homicidal Assault, like I said, was a demo, but we recorded the vocals here in my studio and then mixed and mastered that as well. So, like, almost every single song was a different process to get it all to where it sounded cohesive in the end. But I had a lot of good tracks to work with, so it wasn't so bad, man. And it was a lot of fun doing it too.
So they were sending you like raw tracks, like fucking, like not just you weren't just adding some EQ onto this and that. Like this was some serious fucking going in there and really building it back up from the ground up.
Yeah, some of it was kind of surgical. Just so, everything could match up, because especially once you already have a master track, you really can't. There's nowhere to go with it. You can't you can't compression out. You can't add more compression to it. So, using a multi-band compressor, which is like my surgical toolkit, break out the frequencies that I want to work on and try and get that to a nice even level sound, so that I can go ahead and add a little bit more color to it to match up with everything else.
Very cool, man. Yeah, I bet a lot of people probably don't realize like how much actual work goes into doing that, but I mean, it really fucking makes a big difference, huh?
Yeah, well, like I said, every song was different. They were all recorded in, different surroundings, different circumstances. Some of them on home computers, in a home, some in real studios. So, yeah, each song was definitely its own project to get to that desired, like I said, levelness, where we can then make them all blend and sound pretty decent together. But like I said, I enjoyed doing this kind of stuff.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, the first time I heard it, Kat had sent it over, and I just fucking ran it through the whole fucking show, just played the whole fucking thing, and was just sitting there listening to it. And she was asking me if I wanted to interview any of their bands, and I was like, "Fuck, man, everybody on here sounds fucking great, man. Fucking hit them up, man. Whoever's fucking available and ready, man. Let's do it."
Totally appreciate that. There's 21 great bands and all different genres of metal, which is, like I said, I'm a big fan of all types of different genres, so I love listening to everything from black metal to speed metal to death metal to, as extreme as it comes, man.
Hell yeah, man. Now, as far as your bands, what kind of, you got band links, or like where should people go to find out more information about what you're doing?
For the compilation?
Well, yeah, but I mean like Primeval and Homicidal Assault and the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, all right. The best place really to look for everything would be on Facebook. I know it's facebook.com/real.prime.evil. There you can find out all our other links and everything. Homicidal Assault, like I said, is still kind of in the demoing and writing phase, so we have nothing publicly that we've put up yet until we're ready to go on that. And definitely look up Obscure Chaos Scene on Facebook as well, because you can find out all the information on the bands there.
Fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah. All right. Well, what kind of plans do you guys have right now for the future coming up?
Well, Obscure Chaos, I think, already talking about doing a volume 2 for this coming Halloween, which I think would be awesome. Primeval, like I said, we're recording right now, working on some old stuff that we're re-recording with the new lineup, and then we'll be recording our full length. Hopefully we'll have that stuff out by the end of the year. And Homicidal Assault will be right behind them as far as the recording goes and release.
Right on, man. Right on. All right, well, Mike, I'm about out of questions for you, man. Is there anything else you want to let the people know?
Yeah, definitely download the album. It's 21 free songs of great metal. If you're a fan of metal, no matter what genre, you're going to find at least a handful of bands on there that you're going to get into and become fans of. There isn't one bad song or one bad band on there, man. Really proud to be part of it. Really, really grateful for all of Kat's work and doing this, putting it together, doing all the promotion and everything, man. And thank you for having us on and helping push the album, man.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. All right, well, Mike, before I let you go, I got to get you to make a station tag, cool?
Sure, no problem, man.
All right, man. Just say your name, your mic, and you're from whichever band or whatever you want to say, and say that you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Hi, this is Mike from Primeval, and you're listening to Zach Moonshine on Metal Devastation Radio.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot for calling in, Mike, and thanks for taking the time.
No problem. Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Dude, anytime, man. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to fucking blast some Homicidal Assault and fucking kill these motherfuckers, man.
Awesome, man. Killer. Thank you.
All right, dude. Cheers.
All right, cheers, man.
All right, later. There you heard it, folks. Fucking Mike from Primeval and Homicidal Assault. Crank this motherfucking shit up loud as a fuck. I mean, really loud. Make your neighbors fucking... Dude, if they're not fucking calling U-Haul in like fucking 5 minutes, you're doing something wrong. Seriously. Crank it the fuck up.